This is the Ray Powers Hour. I am back. With me on the line, I don't think it's an overstatement to call this guy a legend. Look, he's one of the coolest guys around. Founder of Enuff Z'Nuff, co-founder of Enuff Z'Nuff, bassist extraordinaire, and a groovester. Chip Z'Nuff. How you doing, buddy?
Good, thanks for the introduction. I'm not sure I deserve all that. Legend usually means older than moose pussy, but I'll take it. Thank you.
Hey, listen, you got to be a legend at some point, I mean, what can you do? But,
well, I'm pretty lucky to be going this long. Yeah. 20 albums, going on our 32nd year is Enuff Z'Nuff, with no breaks, by the way, except for a small little month or two with Adler within Guns N' Roses or Tour Missing Persons.
Yeah.
Never stopped at Enuff Z'Nuff. Been doing the same thing for 32 years, confusing motion with progress.
It's amazing. It's got to be what a trip. So how was the Kiss cruise?
Well attended, jam-packed, tons of people, great bands. I love playing with King's X. Those guys are so underrated. That's a band that should have been huge.
I know.
But they're still putting music out. They're still doing well. Dead Daisies are real good.
Oh, great.
They got ex-members of guys in Whitesnake and Motley Crue.
Karabi, yeah.
Warner.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple other bands I thought. Skid Row was real good on the boat. Well-attended shows, jam-packed outside. When they played inside, it was good, too, as well. Band sounded terrific. Magnetico, a new three-piece band. The guy used to be the musical director for Christina Aguilera. That's a great underrated band as well. And, of course, The Dives, which is Paul Stanley's kid, Evan Stanley, his band. And they're sort of like the Raspberries meets Squeeze, real good pop band.
Oh, wow.
People loved them. I hope they call us again because it was fantastic. And Kiss played 3 shows. They were unbelievable.
Wow.
With and without the makeup.
Oh, that's insane. I can't believe I missed that. I'm sitting here working on radio, man. I got to be out cruising with you guys. So, and you
Hey, Gene Simmons was selling basses on the boat for $10,000 a pop.
You got to love Gene. Gene being Gene.
He knows how to make money. That guy can talk a dog off a meat truck. He is good.
It's true. And you played with Tracy Guns, too, right, at some point?
Right before we jumped on the Kiss tour, we were out with LA Guns for about a month.
Awesome. Cool. And you guys, of course, have a new album coming out again, Clown's Lounge, December 2nd. And you said this is album number 20? Because I get them when they come out, but I lose count. I have so many now.
Yeah, I think it's around 20. I lost count as well, but it sounds like a good number.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let's face it, got a lot of records out there when the average life expectancy of any band is 5 years. We're still going. It's good.
It's amazing. And there's not many bands that can say that. I mean, Stryper's back together and, you got a handful of bands, but you're right. It's just, after this many years, it's like, wow, we're still standing. It's pretty cool.
Well, I give Stryper a lot of credit because it's all the 4 original members.
Yeah.
But remember, it's a Christian band. They weren't sleeping with guns and trim. They weren't doing any cocaine. They did no party. It was basically Stryper, and then right after that, the Milk and Cookies tour.
Yeah, people gave them a lot of grief, but, hey, they got the last laugh. And you guys are out there doing it.
It's a great band. They pack them in. They play all over Chicago.
Yeah.
They just played the House of Blues and sold it out. That's a strong group.
Yeah. Well,
and they're one of a handful. That's all the original members still together.
It's true. Almost nobody can say that. But you guys have been pumping out music like machines, great records, never a filler cut. Now, is it still exciting to release a record the same way as it was in the 80s? I mean, when the first album came out, when Strength came out, do you still get that same rush?
No. Of course not.
Of course not.
Back then we were getting a couple $100,000 for the record. Then there was a budget of $500,000. You were drowning in chips.
That's true.
Then now here we are. If you can find a record deal, you're lucky as it is.
I know. And
the advances are so much lower. The great thing about it is you get a record out there and people get a chance to hear you're still making music. But the excitement isn't like it was before because there was more mediums. You had MTV, VH1, all those different outlets that would play your videos and songs. Right. Radio was always added new songs. Nowadays, with terrestrial radio, it's the same 20 bands every single day. Yeah. So, what's there to look forward to? putting a record out and then going out and supporting it on tour. That's fun.
And that's why, you know, stations like this exist. We want to play all the music. And as Joe Elliott from Def Leppard had said, it's flipped. It used to be you put out a record and you toured to support it. Now, you know, you put out a record to justify your tour.
Yeah, without a new record, why tour? Right. Unless you're a huge band and you've been out of the limelight for a long time, which I don't recommend that to anybody, because once you take too long of a break, it's real hard to get back into the thick of things.
Yeah, unless you're Springsteen or something.
You got to keep making records and keep going out and touring and try to reach as many people as possible. And maybe there'll be a director or a producer, somebody at your shows, where you can get your songs licensed, a movie, a soundtrack, a TV show, a commercial, something that's significant that can happen where you can elevate your perception.
It's true. And you guys are out just all the time. And with the huge catalog of songs you guys have, is it more challenging now to, you know, put together a set list? Like, I mean, you got such a vast catalog. How do you put together an hour-and-a-half set?
Well, I look at the catalog. I look at all the songs and I say, first album, 500,000 sold. Second album, gold. Third album, 250,000 records.
Gotcha.
And I go, okay, well, those are the ones that sold the most. Let's just pick songs from that. If it gets bigger and we're blessed enough to be able to go out there and keep doing this, I'll expand the catalog and I'll put other songs in there. But I'm not interested in playing the B-sides. I just want to play the hits and the deep album cuts right now.
That's cool. And you know you have the hardcore fans out there that are like, you know, you could be like the Stones and play for 4 hours and someone's going to say, man, I still didn't hear my favorite song. You have that many songs out now.
Thank you. It's nice to hear that. I wouldn't want to play 4 hours. It's hard enough right now singing an hour and a half every single night. These songs are very difficult. They're super challenging. It's not an easy gig.
Oh, I know. I mean, Donnie set the bar really, really high. And when you guys write the songs, obviously, you set the bar high. So that's just how it goes. Now, clearly, you know, Enuff Z'Nuff wasn't a gimmicky glam band when you came out. And I followed you for all 27 years that I knew of you. Of course, the push is going to help, and, you know, but you live past that. Does it get frustrating at times when people are like, hey, you're the Fly High Michelle guys? Or are you cool with that?
Call me what you want, just as long as you call me.
I hear you.
It's fine. I'm glad that people recognize us. Look, there's a lot of stuff in the world. Everybody's got options.
Right.
For anybody to recognize one of our songs, it's an honor, and I'm grateful for that. So
I agree.
No one comes up to me and goes, "Hey, you guys are the Fly High Michelle guys." That's never been said to me.
Well, that's good. I mean, I know Janie Lang, God rest his soul. I know it drove him crazy that, you know, everyone came up to him and with Warren, it was, oh, you're the cherry pie this, cherry pie that. I mean, like you said, you're known for something. It's a lot better than not being known for that. So, you know,
Well, Jeannie, at one time, obviously Jeannie's not around to defend himself.
Right.
But at one time, I do remember him. He was a bit cantankerous. He was bummed out because other bands were getting recognition, and he wrote a bunch of hit songs, and yet people were just pigeonholing him to one song, Cherry Pie. But that song sold 5 million records.
Right.
And set him up with a nice life, and the band has a nice career right now. So I certainly wouldn't shy away from that. And I think later on in life, Janie embraced that and realized that he was pretty grateful for having a song like Cherry Pie.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, I understand being an artist and, you know, wanting to go deeper in your catalog, but like, I'd rather be known for one hit than not at all. So I totally feel you on that. But your new album.
Yeah, I just wrote one called Blueberry Pie.
Did you really? That's
yeah,
awesome.
it'll be on the next record.
I love it. And that's the other thing. I mean, you guys have so many songs. You have like a Fort Knox vault full of songs. I mean, do you just sit down with Donnie and just like make a pot of coffee and just churn out 50 hits and you go, okay, we can only put out 12 cuts on an album? You can like reach back at any time and it just seems like, you know, oh, I got this song from 20 years ago. I had this idea from the 80s. I mean, how many songs can you possibly write before you run out of good ideas?
Well, we had an 8-track recorder in the house, so we were able to record anytime we wanted to. And we'd write songs on the road.
Right.
And ideas were easy because we ran to tons of people, so it was wide open to interpretation. With whether it come to conversation, a cigarette, an ashtray, lipstick on a glass, everything that we've seen, it gave us an idea for a song.
Well, I mean, with all due respect, I mean, the average Joe can see, a bus running down the street and they won't get a song idea. You two just spin it into hits, and it's an art form, and obviously that's why you guys are who you are, and not everybody can do that.
Well, we had good influences. We grew up listening to a lot of stuff in England, a lot of the British bands like Pink Floyd and Zeppelin and the Beatles and Queen, and Bowie, and those bands helped shape us, I think, in a lot of ways, indirectly. And we also liked American rock and roll, too. We're big Stevie Wonder fans and love Sly and the Family Stone, but we also loved Aerosmith, and I think that, and Cheap Trick. And just it was a big potpourri of stuff. We just tried to mix it all up as best we could.
Yeah, and it's a nice blend. Now, the new album, of course, Clown's Lounge, out December 2nd. I know the lead single is Dog on a Bone, but you gave me permission, as did your label, to spin one of my favorite cuts on this, Rockabye Dreamland. Anything you want to say about that before we give it a spin?
No, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Well, let's give this a spin here on the Ray Powers Hour on New Visions Radio.
Turn it up.
New Visions Radio, this is the Ray Powers Hour. You just heard Rockabye Dreamland, brand new Enuff Z'Nuff, off of Clown's Lounge, coming out December 2nd on Frontier Records. Now, Chip, thanks for indulging me. I mean, I know that the lead single is Dog on a Bone, and I know you guys already shot a video for that. Rockabye Dreamland, guarantee you that's going to be a follow-up single somewhere in the mix. But as far as Dog on a Bone, you guys already shot a video for that. And you shot that in New York. I can't believe I didn't get the heads up on that, but that's all right. The next one.
Yeah, and one day we were in New York on tour with Tracy Guns. We were playing at a place called Kung Fu Necktie. No signs in the door, no nothing. As soon as I walked down the street, I ran into about 15 transvestites. I said, perfect place to shoot a video. We happened to have Dave Steckert with us. Dave Steckert was one of the video directors for Paul McCartney.
Wow.
And he was kind enough to shoot the video. Didn't have we shot maybe a couple hours. That was it. He was able to put something together that's real nice. And it's a good representation of where the band is right now. Straight ahead rock and roll band, very melodic, and full of piss and vinegar.
Wow. So we'll look for that on YouTube soon. Is it out now? Or is it being spliced together?
No, the label, Frontiers Records, will be in charge of that. They'll put it out there when the time is right.
Cool.
You would think it would be out right now, but it won't be out probably until right before the record's released.
Okay. Well, hey, listen, that's good. Then people will have to go out and get the record, and they can watch it when they want, but they'll already have the record. I like it.
I certainly hope people go out and check it out. There's a lot of stuff you can grab right now. There's plenty of really good records being released, and I'm surprised that we're putting it out at the end of the year. That being said, though, I think it's a strong rock and roll record, good representation of Enuff Z'Nuff. It's got a real nice energy to it. So it's a lot of fun to make.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, after all these years, I mean, it's a singles market, it's an EP market, but you guys have always put out quality albums from front to back. The fact that Frontiers is still supporting and putting out full albums, that's a great thing. And I'm glad to see that at least there's, the old guard is putting out quality stuff and lots of it.
Well, we got lucky with Frontiers because the president of the label, or the head of A&R, his name is Derek Shulman.
Right. He
discovered Enuff Z'Nuff 30 years ago over at Atlantic Records. And Derek was, he was the conduit to us getting this record together. We were sitting around here in Blue Island, Illinois, where I live, just producing bands, making music. I got a phone call one day. He said, I'm interested in putting out another Enuff Z'Nuff album. Do you have any material? And I sent him 3 songs. He loved it. And Derek's a pretty smart guy. He discovered Bon Jovi. He discovered Cinderella. They gave him his own imprint over at Atlantic Records. His first 4 signings were AC/DC, Bad Company, Pantera, and Enuff Z'Nuff. And we put that. Derek comes from a musician's background. He was the lead singer of a band called Gentle Giant back in 1973. They put out a bunch of records.
Yeah.
And then he split out of the business and started working A&R. And he's always had a great ear for music. He knows good songs. And I'm glad that he gave us another chance.
Wow. So that's 4 for 4 right out of the box. I mean, that's some serious company you're keeping there. But, you mentioned that it's been 32 years. And, of course, the self-titled album came out. It's 27 years now. It's hard to believe. You guys are eligible for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I've heard the hardcore fans, they're making a case for you guys. I don't know if you've heard this already. I'm sure you have. But, I mean, it's not that far-fetched. I mean, I know the Bon Jovis and the Def Leppards get snubbed. But I can almost see you guys as being like that cool kind of alternative that they just might go for. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked right now if somebody was to call.
I didn't hear anything, but I know that we put out enough records to be included in something like that. It's quite an honor, and I said, who am I to toot my own horn and say we deserve to be in the hard rock? Although when I hang up this conversation, I'll be screaming saying, hey, they're talking about us right now. I'll be bragging about that, of course. But I haven't heard any talk on that. However, it'd be an honor to be just even a blurb would be nice. There's so many wonderful, terrific musicians out there and bands that are in the Hall of Fame, and we can get, if one day we recognize, that'd be great. I don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah, well, after all the albums you put out, and you've influenced so many bands. I mean, I started a band partially because of you guys. I got to open for you guys. It was a highlight. And I mean, there's just so many bands in Chicago and around the world that just absolutely look to you as a primary focus of, this is why I had to do this. I saw these guys do it. They kicked ass. I want to do this. And that carries a lot of weight.
Well, that's nice to hear. I have a lot of people come up to us during the shows playing around the country where they, every single night they say, hey, your songs have changed my life, or, you know, this song has done so many things for me, and thanks for turning us on. And it's very flattering. There's no doubt about that. And everybody doesn't get those accolades. So I'm very honored to know that there's people out there where there's bands that we've influenced and musicians that we've tripped their trigger. And it's a nice feeling. It really is. And I'll never get sick of hearing that.
Yeah, well, you can't be this good this long and not touch a lot of people. But you guys are coming back to New Jersey this Saturday. Dingbatz in Clifton. I know you've been here before. A worthwhile cause. It's a benefit concert for the late Herb Newman, passed away from cancer. Cancer really sucks. And it's a loaded bill. You're headlining. Everybody's got to go out and check this out.
I've always loved playing out there. Listen, we just got off the Kiss cruise, playing 3 shows, opening for one of the biggest bands in the world, Kiss. And now we're going to jump on it. We're going to play with Lita Ford on Friday in San Francisco, and then jump on a red eye and fly to New Jersey, because Herb Newman was one of the greatest rock photographers I've ever met. He was responsible for a lot of Enuff Z'Nuff success in the early days. And Herb, he used to shoot with everybody. He did Billy Idol stuff and Bon Jovi and Robert Plant. Was just a wonderful photographer and a great friend of mine. And I hope a lot of people come out to the show. It's the only New York show. New Jersey, I think it's Saturday. And I think it'll be well attended.
Yeah, only area appearance. We're pushing it hard. Lisa, of course, is pushing it hard. Yeah, I think it'll be a great night. Loaded bill. And I think it's going to be great. And, of course, you guys, next year, you guys are going to South America with Ace Frehley, right?
Yeah, we start the tour off, though, here in North America in Texas.
Oh, cool.
On January, I think 17th, we start in Vegas, and then we work our way all the way through until the middle of February with Ace. Over 20 shows with the great Ace Frehley, and then we go to South America after that. Okay,
so you have a chance to go to Vegas, Sin City. I mean, what better way? What happens there stays there, except Enuff Z'Nuff. You want to chat that up for sure.
Yep. Vegas they always treat us well in Sin City.
Awesome. Well, Chip, I know you're a busy guy, man. I really, really want to thank you for stopping by on the Ray Powers Hour. You guys are in New York on Saturday, New Jersey. I'll hook up with you guys. We could do a live Facebook. Next time you're in town, come by the Power Cove. We could jam a couple songs, and we'll do it right.
Thanks, man. I'd love to do that. You know, my fondest memories are in New York. It's my favorite city. I've always loved playing the East Coast, especially because of my relationship with Howard Stern.
Oh, sure.
King of all radio. And Howard grabbed onto the band in the early days. He's been very supportive all through our career. So whenever I come out there, it's really exciting because a lot of great memories there. Playing Letterman, doing all the big shows out there, the arenas, Jones Beach, with Poison on tour. I've had great moments out there. Yeah, I've seen you guys at the big shows. I've seen you guys at Webster Hall,
all the way up and down the East Coast. I got to open for you at the old Birch Hill in Old Bridge, which is now, unfortunately, an apartment complex. You know, that happens, but the memories are there, and you've outlived these venues. That says something.
That says a lot.
Yeah. Well, Chip, man,
I outlived the venue.
It's going to be many, many more, and I'm looking forward to this album, Clown's Lounge. Get it December 2nd. Pre-order it. iTunes. Go to Amazon. You're not going to regret it. When have you ever regretted an Enuff Z'Nuff album? Chip,
thank you very much. I really appreciate that, buddy. I'll see you Saturday at the Herb Newman Benefit at Dingbatz in New Jersey. Clifton, New Jersey. Everybody show up there. Bring your peace signs and paisleys. We're going to make it like a little indoor mini Woodstock without the mud.
We're going to party like it's 1989. Chip, thanks so much, man. Have a great night.
Thank you, bro. God bless.
God bless, brother.
The Ray Powers Hour. New Visions Radio.